Probably will have trouble blinking from Chwan. Ravage on 3, Shackle on 2. Waiwei, a beautiful little shackle from him, and that sets up a quick double kill. Guess the question, Demon starts it off with the Firefly blinks in, grabs K Phoenix, surprise!
Does get chucked up before he BKBs. FC overextending. Here comes the AoE, but he's already gone down N9 in a...
Will this be enough to bring LGD down? He's so low. Maybe should have saved the Flame Breath. Don't know if that last auto attack would have hit. And Tiny kills him with the splash on kill.
And we'll get out. They haven't got sentries or dust. The clamp comes in. Maybe an 8 well played.
Oh, this is a beautiful thing to see. It's a base trade, and EG might be caught unawares. It's a time for a TP scroll check, and nobody has a TP on EG.
They haven't done enough damage to backdoor protection. They need
unbelievable.
more geniuses.
Thousands of years of waiting, and yet no time to waste.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2, LGD versus EG, East versus West. I'm LD, joined here by GoDz. We're Beyond the Summit, or David and GoDz. This is game number 2.
Game number 2, a must-win game for EG. EG are on their last life here in the G1 League. They've got to win it to be in it. This is going to be the last spot at the LAN Finals in China in about 10 days' time. Can EG do it? Can EG win game number 2?
This is tough. $53,000 in prizes. As mentioned, the largest Dota tournament of any kind, I believe, including all Dota 1 events outside of the International, of course, which is in another stratosphere, but this is a lot of money. It's a lot at stake, and this is a play-in match for LGD. They win this match, they're in. They lose this match, suddenly their confidence is shaken. EG perhaps gain a bit of momentum, and we go into a game 3 that truly would be up for grabs. Now, GoDz, as we look at this match, the draft pretty well underway. I'm interested. I think it's sort of what we expected, right? If you ban out Keeper of the Light, if you ban out Jakiro, then what LGD will do is it frees up the Naga Siren, it frees up the Darkseer. They can go for either one of those great sort of farmers and solos to counter pushing strategies, to counter the group up. And EG, this draft is a big departure for them, something quite different.
I think EG, to me, they're a team who are amazing at running the same strategies over and over again to perfection. Their night strategies, they perfected, executed amazingly. Same with their Lifestealer background combo, but they're also a fantastic team at adapting. If they realize a strategy is not going to work against a team, they say, okay, we need to do something different, and they'll pick and they'll ban differently, and they'll pick differently. Here, they left the pool more open with the Keeper of the Light ban. They also decided to steal the Jakiro before LGD could pick it up. And I really like what they've done here. They forced LGD to pick up supports they're maybe less used to. LGD also going for both Bounty Hunter and Darkseer. Having both those side lane heroes, probably going to see Darkseer go into the jungle. So really different style of play from both these teams. And I think that favors EG slightly.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You know, they do have sort of a great lineup to... You know, the one thing LGD is lacking right now is lockdown. They don't have much of it. They just have track and split earth, nothing reliable. And that's what EG is banning out. They're banning down the big teamfight lockdown. Tidehunter and Naga Siren, and also a bit of chasing power. The net, of course, reliable to set up the split earth. There are still heroes left in the pool. There's a Sven if LGD want to go for a little bit of IG style Dota, DK style Dota. There are some less conventional heroes, but nothing that we've really seen LGD run. Dragon Knight, I think, is the biggest one that's still on the board. What are these teams going to do in the second stage of the draft?
Yeah, for EG, maybe looking at that Dragon Knight, giving them some mid-game push here. LGD banning out a lot of those strong carries, frontline heroes with I mean, 3 bans on just pure carry heroes. LGD, I'm wondering where they want to go with this. If Darkseer is playing in the jungle, if they want to go for the greedier option, maybe that means EG can pick up an Enigma of their own, play Enigma in the jungle, go with maybe Demon on the offlane Rubik, which you've seen him use on numerous occasions.
Yeah, for the moment, it's a stage to the draft. EG used up most of their reserve time, but they do have 13 seconds left or so to go, and they're going to start into that. They go for the Panda Brewmaster. They go for big team fight. I wonder if this is just, as it's not only picking this up for their own team, it's also denying it to LGD, who, you know, would love to get their hands on something like the Panda to combo with Bounty Hunter and Darkseer for great chasing and some great kind of lockdown. But LGD say, okay, you got Panda, we're going to get a Sven, and I expect this will be a Sylar Sven.
Yeah, plenty of chasing potential here when you've got the track movement speed, you've got Sven with the Warcry. A lot of tanky chasing heroes, but EG, Bandra and Brewmaster, a great way of dealing with that, countering that. You've got the Cyclone, you've got a very defensive hero, you've got mobility coming from the Queen of Pain. Ice Path, very good on the defensive as well, so I think EG, they're not going to be too worried about this. They're going to be quite happy with how this draft has progressed. What their last hero is going to be, though, I'd love to see an Enigma. If they're running the Rubik in the offlane, having that Enigma farm away in the jungle, getting the early levels and farm could be just huge for them. It's going to be a Nature's Prophet, though. Possibly offlane with the Rubik as a support, or maybe just going to see a jungle Nature's Prophet if they want to try show some greed of their own up against this Darkseer.
Yeah, this is interesting, and they'd love to go for the early Midases. Oh boy, we forgot about the Night Stalker. So busy looking at the Sven, the Bounty Hunter, but this is that core composition that we saw. In fact, is this the identical lineup that IG used versus LGD in that first game, which was sort of the unveiling, the coming out party for the Night Stalker Bounty Hunter Sven combo? I believe this is the identical lineup. The Leshrac or the Darkseer might be different. But I think this is at least 4 of the 5 heroes. Gods, this is a terrifying force, and frankly, it counters EG quite well. You really want that silence versus Brewmaster and Queen of Pain. This is some big lockdown, some big hero killing potential. A little bit weak in the laning stage, but come mid-game, EG needs to be pretty far ahead.
And Nature's Prophet, a hero who will really struggle against this. I really worry for Demon a bit, how he's going to get farm and XP. Probably going to have to just go into that jungle, maybe leave the offlane just completely, utterly empty. EG will have a tough time with these heroes. Silence really can cripple both Fear on the Queen of Pain, Jeyo on the Brewmaster, so there's not going to be really any easy outs here. And where did they get the kills? These 3 melee heroes, sure the laning's poor for them, but they're very tanky, hard to kill come mid-game time. Night Stalker, you've got Bounty Hunter, who's very elusive. You've got the Sven, who's just nice and tanky, and Darkseer, who can get the mech, get those survivable utility items for his team. And
it's a Shao 8 Night Stalker. Is this a permanent switch? Is he going to be that 2 position for the team? They've been all over the place. He's been the 4, he's been the 3, and now he's the 2. 2 games in a row. It looks like it'll be Shao 8 getting that second level of farm after the Sven. So let's introduce the players. Shao 8 on the Night Stalker, looks to be soloing mid, looks to be rushing the bottle. DDC on the Leshrac, already the defensive wards being placed in their own jungle. Worried about some potential aggression from EG. DD or SC playing that Darkseer, potentially just going to abandon that bottom lane early on, get some early levels, perhaps go back to it later, and avoid the gank. Sylar on the farming Sven, Clarity Potion picked up, so he'll be able to get at least a couple of Storm Bolts off in the laning stage. And last but not least, it is Yao, again in the 3 position, so this may be, with 2 games of evidence, this may be more of a long-term or permanent switch.
This is the 3rd role switch-up LGD have done throughout this tournament. They've gone from DD playing the 3 position with Zhao 8 on support, to Zhao 8 back to the 3 position, DD on support. Now it's Yao, the first time ever, not playing that 2 position, not playing the solo mid. Okay, maybe not the first time ever. Zhao 8 used to play the solo mid back when LGD first switched over to Dota 2, but it's not something that's happened in a long, long time. What are EG going to do up against it? They've got Jeyo going towards the top lane on the Brewmaster, bdiz on Jakiro, and Rubik being played by Demon. This is a support Rubik. Demon playing a support role here, and they're going offensive trialing as well. Very interesting to see this. maelk playing the safe lane, Nature's Prophet, and then you've got Fear on Queen of Pain at the mid lane.
Yeah, this is a bit of a switch up for EG as well, not just through the picks and doing something different with the strategy. Well, different to what we've seen from them before. Not so much different from what other teams do, but you're running the offensive trialing, having Demon as the laning support. We saw Fear occupy that role previously when HY was standing in. Maybe it has more to do with the heroes involved, but we did see Fear playing the Rubik, so this is EG mixing things up a bit as well, and I'm curious to see whose mix-up will be more effective. This is a bit of a weakness for LGD. They're not the best at dealing with tower dives. They don't have an Earthshaker. They don't have a twin-headed dragon. Sure, they've got Sven Stormbolt, and the armor that comes through Warcry, but here comes the initiation already. Not just some harassment. This is a lane that has some kill potential.
It does, but they need to get those kills. EG have decided, they see the Darkseer as well as Banner. They know there's going to be pretty much, without a doubt, a jungle Darkseer, which gives them the possibility to go offensive tri lane, to have this aggressive lane, to punish the dual lane. But it's not really going to go too easy. There's a lane board placed up very high so it doesn't get de-warded. And if they don't get the kills, LGD are going to out-level them using all these pool camps. You can already see a couple pools coming, and if more can come with the small camp also fallable.
Yeah, you know, the other nice thing is when you do these pulls, the creeps stack up on your side, so you can actually farm better for a wave or so while your lane is pushing, because if they fight into you, they tank a big creep wave with multiple range creeps, and early on, few heroes can deal with that. Brewmaster a little bit, but aside from that, it's tough. So the pulls also let them farm in the lane, as odd as that sounds, once the wave is pushing back out, and Sylar hitting level 2, DDC 2 as well, is going for Lightning Storm, doesn't want to be in close to EG, wants that long-range harassment, and the counter pushing, in comes Hasted Demon, this could be our first blood, telekinesis to pull him back in, into the dual breath, the clap will hit, Stormbolt needs to catch 3, only 2, not enough, first blood, Demon strikes first, and they needed the kill, and they got it, gods.
Yeah, that's big. Getting that haste run coming up immediately. The observer ward placement doesn't actually, they're not actually blocking that pool camp. Probably a slight misplacement. I think they wanted to block it, but in some ways it could work out better. They get vision, and LGD are thinking, oh, it's not really warded. Maybe the ward's over near this big pool camp, so it gives vision, and that's really the most important thing to get those kills. They can contest the pool camp. Even if they're pulling, they can still try steal them if they've got vision of it. So smart play coming out from EG.
You know, the one thing that is sort of the X factor for EG, I think even more than the Queen of Pain mid, is this Prophet, who's getting a lot of soul experience. Sure, Yao is a pretty potent counter ganker, but Prophet's got that global option. He's got the ult once he hits 6, and that could be what they need to find a couple kills up top. For the moment, though, Yao is doing a great job of harassing him down, and with the early poor man shield, I believe he was pulled some regen. This actually makes it, it's honestly a lane where Prophet gets harassed more than Bounty Hunter, as strange as that might sound.
Yeah, Banner can just win-walk in, get a couple hits off. The Janata harass really hurts as well, so it's not really a fun lane for Nature's Prophet. It's still a lane where he gets farm and XP, and we may actually see him TPing top very soon with his bat. Once he gets it, maybe probably wants to buy a Bassi ring, then he can TP top, get a kill, and transition into a push. But here we go, EG, they want Sylar. It could be turned around on them though. Demon is going to go down. I don't think they were expecting the damage from the Lightning Storm. Big turnaround, and LGD, they pick up 2 kills on a tri-lane dive of their tower.
Oh, Sylar wanted to tango through the trees, but he actually needed to eat 2 trees, I believe, to get through there. Could have even gone for 3, but a bit of a disaster for them giving up those kills. You can't break even. You can't even maybe be a little bit ahead. You've got to be far ahead to make up for the pulls, to make up for the jungle Darkseer, who's already level 4. And gods, once he decides to come to this lane, Ion Shell Surge onto a hero like the Sven, who's already very tanky, difficult to deal with. And, you know, the one thing for EG, sure, they have some great burst damage, they have some great lockdown, but they have to finish these kills with physical damage, and that's where the Warcry makes it. You know, it's sort of, it's not as great as a Fissure or an Ice Path that's stopping aggression, but it's pretty scary nonetheless. They barely took any damage from the dive, and here we go, going the other way. Sylar gets initiated upon, has the wand, not using it yet, could definitely get a Stormbolt off here, really being patient. In comes maelk as well. Where is that wand? He's waiting until the last second, he's baiting like a boss. And no aggression, and a bit of a wasted TP for maelk.
He got stunned as he TP'd in. He didn't get the sprout off because of the Leshrac stun. Really nice stun from DDC. Probably actually saved Sven's life there. Sylar would have gone down if he got sprouted, I want to say. And with that, a lot of wasted time for EG, not getting those kills, committing so many heroes towards his top lane. Sure, Yao, as a bounty hunter, isn't a hero who's going to get massive just by farming, but he can come get involved soon once he gets that track up.
Oh, DD gets caught. He does have Surge. He will Surge away, and just not enough lockdown and burst damage to kill him. Although here comes the Prophet with the Sprout. There is a vacuum to pull his way out. SC dropping low. Needs that Stout Shield to proc every time. Just kidding. There's the zap. There's the kill. Blinking from Fear. Wants to go for the solo kill with Xiaowei. Turns around, voids him, and clubs him once, and Fear overextends. That was a lane they really needed to go their way, and despite having a bit more CS, gods, he just gave up a crucial kill. Prophet!
Oh, he gets picked off! Nature's Prophet, maelk just laughing at Xiaowei, says, thank you very much. Picks up that kill from his own base, and that's going to start building towards his Midas now, so, well, it was a lane they need to go their way, but with a stroke of luck, well, not so much luck, but just a bit of timing there, EG, they do turn it around. Fear probably going to go back mid. Fear a bit under-leveled here, just level 5. Probably been roaming around getting some of those runes, and he's 2 levels behind Nightstalker at this point in the game. Is a bit of a deficit for him, even with this farm lead of his.
You know, one of the weaknesses of the Tri-Lane Panda is more so than other Tri-Lane farmers, he really needs level 6. He's getting good farm now, but he's only 4. You compare that to the Bounty Hunter who's solo, he's already 7. You compare that to maelk who's 7. This Panda is not going to get a quick ultimate, and I think that's why we're seeing what we are from EG now, which is just leave him alone in this top lane, He may die, but even if he does, he's probably getting more experience overall in the end. Xiaowei comes in bottom lane, the track. This is that combo that we saw from IG. maelk's gonna die to this. No chance. Will die, but can Fear turn it around? Gets one. Queen of Pain ult whiffs. The Ice Path doesn't, though. Connects. Demon is here as well. Pulls it back into the tower. Shadow Strike to follow up. Good burst damage. The tree block for maelk from beyond the Grave Gods. He secures the kill for the team. They probably had it anyway, but great counter ganking and LGD getting just a tiny bit over-aggressive there.
And two kills on the most farmed and highest level heroes in the game is big, but EG are going to lose Bounder and Brewmaster at the top lane. Jeyo gets caught out here. Nature's Prophet actually flying through, getting some of these heroes very, very low. Forces a TP from DD, but good news is for EG, that's a lot of farm, a lot of gold, a lot of space they create by killing both Bounty Hunter and Night Stalker. It's really going to slow down the ability for LG to just completely start snowballing during this first nighttime.
Right, again, when they die, it's not just about the death itself, it's about that nighttime that isn't being used ganking, it's spent running back to lane, it's spent pet bind for TP scroll. There's a big investment every time you die, and it really hampers the aggression. When we've seen Ferrari play his solo Midnight Stalker, he goes godlike. Oftentimes, he doesn't even die once in that first night, and that just means you bounce from lane to lane. Like, I would say a ping pong ball, except he's really more of just a wrecking ball. EG have blunted the aggression as far as gold experience goes. A bit behind. Fear's gonna get caught. Xiaowei clubbing on him. Really needs the urn to secure this kill. I think Fear will be able to blink away here. Needs to blink the right way over the tree line. No! Xiaowei clips him. Oh, Fear just waited a second too long. Pays with his life. Meanwhile, top lane, the Sven to die as well. So EG find the counter kill. But Fear has really been hampered quite a bit. Is that 2 or 3 deaths for him? 2 deaths so far. It's doing okay in terms of levels.
And LGD, they want to make it go this top lane. This could be 2 kills more going LGD's way. maelk's going to get picked off immediately. And Brewmaster, he's popped the ultimate, but he's got to start running. He's got to try to get out of there. He can't really hang around, try to pick off DD. He's actually going to do so. There's your surge, though. DD going to get his way out of there. And now the retaliation from Xiaowei, from this Night Stalker. He's going to look for bdiz here in the jungle. One more nuke coming up. Will find bdiz. It's actually Fear who's come in, turns it around, gets 1 kill on Leshrac. Jakiro does end up dropping Jeyo as well. The track gold, it's just adding up bit by bit.
Oh, he's got the ult in 4 seconds.
LGD.
He's got the ult in 1 second. He wants this bounty hunter. Yao is still running. Xiaowei, no mana for Void. Does a 4 wand charges. Pops them now. Fear able to blink away. Oh, gods, if he hadn't whiffed that ult bottom, that's probably 2 more kills for Fear there. A little bit unfortunate, and, well, LGD really pushing it to the limit in some of these fights. You know, the big problem for EG, it's also that they don't have the Panda ult now, which is a big sort of deterrent to LGD's aggressiveness. They know that's on cooldown. Also, when the Prophet is dead, they know there's not as easy of a counter gank, and look at the wards from LGD. They want to be a little bit more safe when they go for these fights. Lane ward behind that tier 1 top.
As far as trading kills, trading farm has gone so far, I'd say EG still well in this game. They're not really falling behind. Their key heroes have the farm they need. They've got just the Arcane Boots on Jeyo, Arcane Boots on the support Rubik. You've got Queen of Pain doing decently at mid lane. Even maelk about to finish his Midas. EG are well in this. The problem is that their support here is a bit under-leveled compared to what LG have done with all these pulls at top lane, and that's really the difference between these two teams. It's going to be a lot easier for LG to classic. What about a 5k XP lead? This early in the game, that's quite substantial. And that's going to make it a lot harder for EG.
We haven't seen the second level of synergy that LGD's lineup has. We haven't seen, once that Darkseer gets his level 4 vacuum, he gets the level 2 wall, and you vacuum everyone into a huge Stormbolt, potentially a Split Earth, tons of AoE, and the backlines. It's Sylar who thought about jumping in. Xiaowei comes first. Clap dodge beautifully onto Jeyo. Jeyo doesn't have the ult. Probably don't want to focus him first, but they're going to anyway. Gosh darn it, they want this kill. Queen of Pain ult hits 3 by Fear. Isn't enough though. Vacuum back in. They're fighting in the macro pyre. They're fighting in the flames, and they're living. They're dying. So long before they drop, but they will finally fall. Yao dropping low. How is this fight not going worse for LGD? Now it starts to. Yao thrown up in the air. Can track be stolen? Unfortunately, that ult is on cooldown. Yao going in Fizz. Yao to escape 3 for 3. And how many track kills was it? The Radiant pulling ahead. So, you know, with the tower, I guess that makes it at least an even fight. EG, I thought they would have come out better because LGD just sat in the macro pyre for ages there.
Wow, that Jakiro just tore heroes to shreds that fight. Multiple hero Ice Path, the Macro Pyre on top of the Sprout from Nature's Prophet. So much damage just being dished out by a support Jakiro who had just hit level 6. And LGD, they get the track gold on the kills they pick up, but I think it was 4 kills for EG. Night Stalker actually buys back, and he buys back to not really do all too much. He's going to try to look for Fear at mid lane. Fear he's caught on to the fact that something's up, and I think EG in a really solid position after that fight. Sure, they trade kills fairly evenly, but they get some key levels, some key experience, and they can go back, play a more farm-oriented game with the Nature's Prophet, with the Queen of Pain. They've got a strong late game. They've got the ability to kite all these melee heroes around, and they've got such stable support heroes, having the Jakiro, Rubik, and Brewmaster as that utility hero to set up fights.
Well, sylar not the best positioning, is a bit under farm because of that tri-lane. He's dropping low, he should fall, and the Storm Bolt stolen by Demon. This could be an absolutely huge spell to steal, not only for the AoE stun, but it's also a lot of burst damage, and LGD, that's really what EG needs, is that extra level of stun. Will DDC get the deny? Not able to do so.
Doesn't do so.
And they get the tier 1.
And it's a spell that Demon can just spam, because Sven's main problem is his mana pool, but Rubik not going to suffer from that at all, so this is going to be a lot of Storm Bolts coming out of his Rubik.
Here comes DD, he's got the level 4 vacuum, a ton of AoE damage done. The Split Earth was way late by DDC, now he gets caught by the Ice Pet. Jeyo does have the ultimate, he'll pop it now. Do they have a sentry for Yao? Don't see any detection yet, Demon dropping low, Storm Bolt cooling down, can he get it off in time? Not able to do so. Yao and Chao 8, the race car, the drive-by, Ferrari-esque, but they're still running. They're still trying to survive. Yao is going to wand up. He should escape, and they're just kiting this Brewmaster, even going back in onto maelk. Maelk should fall. Vacuum on 4. Stormbolt to follow. This is the combo. Look at the burst. Down they fall, too, and still that pesky Night Stalker survives. Finally picked off by the Queen of Pain. sylar trying to find bdiz. What a juke. What a play by bdiz, but reveals himself, and suddenly he's about to be caught. Maybe not.
No.
Maybe not.
bdiz? Oh, Duxie, he's seen him from the high ground now. He may look to try chase this down. Warcry coming out from Sven. Vacuum back. Stun is there. bdiz, he did so damn well. He should have just stayed hidden in the trees. Don't come out and play. The big boys will. It's Demon, though, who wants Yao. Yao's got Windwalk up. He needs to cast it. One more right click from Demon comes in first. He's turned this around. Wow, EG in this game still, and really taking it to LGD. 15 kills apiece, and we're just 13 minutes into this game, LD.
And they're also about to get their mechanism up on the Prophet, which is a big issue, is EG sustaining in these team fights. But with this mech, you survive through the Night Stalker silence, you get your Panda ult off, you get that blink available to be used against once the silence ends. They're also about to get a level 2 Queen of Pain ultimate, which is going to be even more burst for them. Like you said, it's EG controlling this game well, and, you know, critically, they're making good use of all their team fight abilities now. Ice Path is hitting here, is catching them out of position. They're bringing LGD down quickly. In the longer fights, generally you would think it's LGD who are favored because of their move speed, because of the armor, the chasing power from Sven. But it's actually EG who have the spammable AoE lockdown, and that's the weakness of the Stormbolt. It's not spammable. Speaking of which, sylar assassinated, instantly popped and brought down. And well, gods, this is not the Zhou Sven who got free farm in a safe lane while his team controlled the game. This is a Sven forced to fight, forced to farm in the middle lane, getting picked off, getting shut down.
Oh, and it's crucial for EG that Fear keeps on getting big and farm, because when it gets later on, some of these heroes on LG's side, they're going to get tankier, they're going to get hard to bring down, and their mobility is going to make it hard to pick off. Queen of Pain is the one hero who can easily chase them, easily finish off heroes, make sure they don't escape, heal up, then come back, re-engage in the clash. So Fear needs to get this BKB up to make sure he's not getting silenced and kept out of these fights.
Right, yeah, that's certainly what we'd expect to see from him. There's a slight chance it could be an Aghanims, but in this game, there's so much chain stun, there's so much lockdown.
Yeah.
BKB feels pretty mandatory.
And maelk has finished his mechanism up as well, so EG's next clash, if they look to do something similar at this mid lane, which they're really positioning for, just chipping at this tier 2 tower, they've got sentry wards down in lane, the mech up is going to really help make this next fight even harder for LGD to win. LGD mech coming soon on Darkseid by the looks of things, but he still needs the recipe.
Here they go. Nice split by EG. Is it good enough? The mech to keep the supports alive. Focusing on Demon. They're tired of this damn Rubik, but the Panda ult is popped. SC dropping low. Again, they fight in the macro player. Again, brought low. Queen of Pain ult will catch 2. Fear wants these kills. Slowed down by the Janata. Yao really trying to keep his team alive. And the Split Earth. Are they really going to kill Fear when he looked like he had a double kill? Blinks into the death, into the Janata, where the Bounty Hunter awaits. And LGD somehow, some way, are winning this fight. Oh, gods, can you believe it? It looked so promising for Fear.
It really did. He almost managed to get as many pickups as he could. The silence from Zhao coming from the background just proved to be too much. Demon now going to go down as well by the looks of things.
Oh,
LGD,
no.
So much track gold there. That's the real... As soon as you have a one fight, that one-sided, LGD is going to have a huge jump in their gold because of all the tracks that go down.
I've been told that I show my graphs too quickly, so trying to show them a bit longer, but oh god, this is like skydiving. This is just a direct plummet on that gold graph. And this is with EG holding onto all of their outer towers. That's the concern, is all of their gold is coming through towers right now. Well, not all of it, but a decent chunk. And once they lose them, it's going to be a huge lead for LGD. Shao8, TP Cheese, he's going to get out of here. No lockdown. It all comes from the supports who just weren't able to get there in time. This is EG's weakness, I feel, in these situations, is when they press too much. We've seen it before, forcing fights where you don't really have the best positioning. It is daytime, darkness is down, so probably not forcing it now, but LGD has some decent anti-push, and you just don't want to overextend at this point.
Yeah, you just don't want to do so, and it looks like they may just do that. LGD, it's EG, they've gone in too far. They're trying to force the issue with this tower. They've already lost theater, and with him down, they just don't have the DPS to take this fight. They've got no Brewmaster ultimate. Demon drops as well. And LGD, the chase, the track, they've already got a track on bdiz. They can just keep on chasing after him. There's very little he can do to survive.
I'm having flashbacks to that IG game now. LGD returning the dose of medicine they got at the hands of Ferrari, of Joe, and just of that IG squad. Their execution has not been as spotless, and EG has done a better job of dealing with it, but we're getting to that point where if you start to lose any fights, you mentioned these heroes get tanky. We have the Treads and the Vanguard up on Nightstalker, 1700 HP, as well as 26 armor with that Warcry there. Yao sitting on a BKB and drums, 1300 for him, 13 base armor. Sylar 5 armor. Frankly, Sylar is the one sort of weak point and Achilles heel of this team, but that's the nice thing about Sven as what could potentially be your late game hard carry. He doesn't have to do it all alone, and he brings a lot of utility that a hero like Anti-Mage or Lone Druid doesn't necessarily do.
Yeah, the max Warcry becomes very spammable, and all that bonus armor you're getting can really limit EG's ability to kill off heroes, engage properly into that. Having that short time span where Warcry is up, there's no physical damage being dealt really by these heroes who, at this point in the game, have no real physical damage boost to what they're offering. Queen of Pain, I mean, Rubik, all these heroes just really cannot deal out enough to LGD, and the utility of Sven being shown here.
How do you initiate if you're EG right now? Your Panda doesn't have a blink, although... Oh, okay, he's got it now in the career. I was going to say, if Jeyo really has to farm a full blink dagger at 19 minutes, they're in a world of trouble. But it's only Panda who can initiate. There's no BKB on the Queen of Pain. She's not really farming well enough to get it soon. If you look at LGD, the nice thing about their lineup is they don't really need items to initiate, except just things like a Vitality Booster or, you know, a BKB. They just charge into the fight, and the move speed from Track, from Darkness... from Hunter in the Night, and of course from Surge and Sven's Warcry, they could just initiate through abilities, whereas for EG, they're very reliant on items to do it, and they're just not getting those items quickly enough.
Yeah, they really aren't, and the fact that LGD, they don't need items, but they're also getting them. DD has now finished off his mech on the Darkseer, which is going to make it really hard for EG to use this AoE from Queen of Pain to get kills. You've got Nightstalker, who's getting tankier and tankier, starting off his BKB now. He's got an Ogre Club board at base, and Sven just about 1k gold away from his BKB.
Oh, don't do this to me, Dota. Okay, had a moment of panic there. Looks like you... Oh, Demon steals Track. Could be huge, but might also just get assassinated. It's gonna die for this. Demon, always known for his cheeky, aggressive plays, but Yao slaps him down, says, sir. Sylar taking some damage. Fear is out of mana, but it's because Jeyo is coming that they're trying to chase this. I don't know if this is a good idea. Prophet ult bounces through. Prophet TPs away into the enemy base to snipe the courier. maelk, what a small but important play from him. Gets that courier. That's not going to bring the gold graph back into balance, but boy, it'll help just a little bit, gods.
Hey, every little bit does help, that's for sure. And that's time where I don't think there was much on that courier. I think it maybe just brought out Nightstalker's Ogre Club or something. But either way, it's gold going EG's way. Gold they desperately need. Whether it's their next level of next line of wards, something just small. maelk's actually got 2k gold, so he can start looking at getting something bigger than this mechanism. Whether it's a 4-staff, maybe a sheepstick for his team.
It does feel like it's the Prophet who's got to carry this game. They've shut down the Queen of Pain. The Panda's got a very late blink. He's a bit under-leveled, only 11 right now. And even with the blink, if it's a time... We've seen some very quick reactions from Shao8 this game. If he gets a silence off, if Sven lands a Stormbolt, you get silenced, you're probably dying even with that evasion before you get your Panda ult off. So it's not absolutely a guarantee, especially if he gets greedy and goes for a clap, which, frankly, a lot of Panda players do. It doesn't feel greedy, but in some cases it is. You just gotta blink in, drop the ult. This could go very poorly for EG, especially with that ping disadvantage. It is a factor. when LGD don't have one, and they're playing lights out so far. Look at the wards from EG. I gotta credit them for this. Something I've seen them not always do in big games. They're doing it now, and you need these against the aggressive heroes of LGD.
Yeah, sentry wards all over the place to help deal with the bounty hunter, and also just as general counter warding. The one ward LGD have up is a very useful one, but it's very limiting in their overall vision.
For the moment, LGD feeling confident. The second nighttime just underway. The ult darkness is on cooldown, but jeyo will be looking to extend this. Everybody smokes, and it's under an EG
it gets
ward.
spotted. Yeah, immediately pinged, and they're going to go into the Roshan pit. EG know this, maybe going to go for a smoke of their own. I think EG are going to be a bit too late for this, though, unless they react immediately.
Oh, it's
I just
too
don't
late.
think EG can stop this.
That's unfortunate. You know, the great wards, but the wards aren't enough. You got to be in position with your heroes, and they just underestimated how fast this LGD squad can kill off Roshan. I'm interested to see that they give it to Sylar. He does have his BKB, but also relying on that BKB. If he dies, I guess you can save the BKB, die, come back to life, then you pop it. I felt like maybe the Night Stalker would be the better choice, but hey, all these three melee semi-carries, you could certainly make an argument for them to carry the Aegis.
Yeah, absolutely. Bounty Hunter is actually massive at this point. He's got 10 kills for his team. BKB, a Mithril Hammer, which I imagine could be just for a Desolator here with all the farm he's got. He's doing a lot of damage, and with that BKB popped, he's almost guaranteed a kill on some of these squishier support heroes. If he goes in on Rubik or Jakiro, Nature's Prophet, all three of those heroes will just drop to his physical damage.
You know, I gotta say, so far, this role adjustment has been working really well for LGD, and, you know, however this game turns out, Sylar, you know, doing his thing on the safe lane, really what he's comfortable with, but Yao has done a great job of handling the off lane on, in these past two games as the Bounty Hunter. Xiao8 controlling the mid game well as the Night Stalker. This game, Storm Spirit last game. Maybe LGD have finally figured out the roles that they're most comfortable in, and with Xiao8 calling the shots in game, this puts him in a position where he's really able, like you said, to control the tempo a bit better.
Yeah, it's so far been working out for them here, looking to try secure their second game victory against EG, take that trip to Fuzhou, China for the LAN finals, and EG, they're in a bit of trouble here. They're going to look for a little pick off here. They want Sylar. He's got BKB and Aegis though, so they're going to have to throw everything in the kitchen sink just to get the one kill, and they're probably not going to go for a second.
Oh, I don't know if this was a mistake. He uses the BKB, just trying to survive longer, tried to bait EG into chasing too far, and he's actually going to live. I think the BKB wearing off the Shadow Strike is still there. He might get denied. He might die. The Prophet ult not going to hit him. The Trance chasing, but don't get the vision. Meanwhile, the real fight breaks out. There's a Queen of Pain, unloads on everyone, and once again, the Macro Pyre doing big damage. Is it enough? Queen of Pain first to drop the BKB from Yao. Yao going to town, Yao going to work, but now controlled by that Panda. Can they bring him down? Where the hell is that Sven? He's got to be coming back to this fight soon. Finally, the Panda ult ends. Blinking away is jeyo, trying to escape, trying to survive. Track on a bdiz, no chance, no how. Yao, wicked sick at playing like it. There's a vacuum. Demon won't escape either. No mercy, says LGD, and the track kill after death. I don't know if they got that last track kill, but gods, they got a couple. And the Aegis, they held on to it. Just incredible what Sylar did, barely living.
A lot more gold going the way of Yao and the rest of the LGD team with fights like that. Xiao8's now just about 400 gold away from his BKB. LGD going to get this top tier 1 tower, maybe even try go for 2 here with EG. Still on the sidelines, well, mostly not on the sidelines anymore, just the Rubik down, but LGD have a lot of momentum going their way here.
Right, and with this many BKBs, EG aren't really equipped to deal with it. For them, it was all about the mid-game timings. It was all about winning that tri-lane convincingly, using the Prophet to get early towers. Their lineup wasn't built to fight on equal footing because they don't have an answer for these BKBs. And sure, Fear's got one, but he still dies to the auto-attack damage. If he doesn't get his BKB off, he dies to the chain stun. It's EG they picked a lineup that was reliant on a very strong start, and unfortunately, gods, they didn't appear to have, it doesn't appear they had enough of one. It really comes down to this Prophet maybe getting his Hex, and just somehow EG's got to find a favorable engagement. The Aegis is about to wear off in a couple minutes, so perhaps they wait for that, then try for some sort of smoke bait. You know, try and force LGD into a bad position, but it's, you know, you try and bait, and you may just give up that kill for free with Yao having this Desolator and all the burst damage from Sven before you can even react.
Yeah, I don't know who is actually can stand at those front lines as the frontline bait. If it's someone like Brewmaster, who's a bit tankier than the rest of his team, well, he gets silenced, maybe prevented from casting the ultimate. There's just no real frontline brawler on the side of EG. With LGD, they've got 2, maybe you could argue 3, maybe even 4 with having the Darkseers and the Bounty Hunter. Somewhat debatable, but Night Stalker and Sven on the front lines, they've got no problem at all being there. Sven now with a Mask of Madness, he's going to be dishing out a real punch in these next few team fights.
Yeah, I like this choice. EG, not enough physical damage to truly punish that. You've got the crits from the Brewmaster, but, you know, he's a Brewmaster. You're not building him as a physical DPS hero. And with the BKB and the Mask of Madness, he's just going to be slapping these heroes down. And honestly, with his lifesteal, it probably makes up for the additional damage he's going to take while that BKB is up. LGD, the triple BKB. GoDz, you know, LGD is a team that's known for really sitting back at times and securing a very safe victory. But with this lineup and these items, I think you just keep the aggression flowing, knock down these outer towers, try and go for a 35, 40-minute GG.
Yeah, I don't think they need to... There's not too many more big items that they can actually accrue at this point. The game going much later is going to favor EG more than LGD. They're kind of peaking at this point. With all these BKBs just having completed, the only thing they're lacking in is maybe a pipe up on the Darkseer. Their carry heroes aren't really hard carries. They don't need more farm. They're ready to go. They're ready to strike now.
Fear and a little bit of a defensive posture. He doesn't have his level 3 ultimate. There is a pipe about to be finished, but not quite up on the Darkseer. Don't really need it with this many BKBs. Fear gets caught. The BKB forced out from him. He's got to blink away. He will do so. Do they back off? The Macro Pyre kind of wasted. The Panda ult. The Panda aspects just dying. But LGD get baited into what looks like a bad fight just because all their BKBs are on cooldown now. The Aegis is wearing off soon. Will it end in the middle of this fight? Not sure yet. Xiao8 running away. LGD on the back foot. The Darkseer wall has already been used. Dropped on the tower. Sylar, 4 heroes caught by the Ice Pet. In comes Fear. Blinks in. Still waiting for that killing blow. The Stormbow catches 2. Disaster ensues. 2 heroes dead. And at least 1 track kill. Now the track with a bdiz. LGD just outlasting, out-surviving, and overwhelming. And look at the crit. Yao thought he would get him with 1 hit and actually takes another. Jeyo comes in, picks off Sylar. Are they turning this around? How many have bought back? Just the Prophet so far. Yao dropping low. Yao will fall in exchange for the Brewmaster. Now, the Darkseer on the back lines. He doesn't have enough for backing. EG are turning this fight around, but doing so at quite a cost. Darkseer drops the final casualty of war. When it's all said and done, the gold graph continues to climb for LGD, but EG do defend their Rex.
Well, they jumped the first big hurdle of many EG. They were on their back foot. They're up against a Sven with Aegis. They kill him twice. They kill Darkseer, Bounty Hunter. They win that fight fairly reasonably. I mean, it did cost them a Nature's Prophet buyback. It wasn't the easiest hold. They took a lot of damage on the tower, but the fact they actually hold, it gives them time to get their next big item up. Nature's Prophet going to have that Sheepstick. Queen of Pain has an ultimate orb now, going to start building a Sheepstick as well. And LGD, they've got to really take it to EG soon, and it's not going to be easy for them when EG start getting up more big items.
DDC, are you really thinking about this? maelk is pretty tanky, but he's going to have backup. This could be a kill. This is a big time to get a kill. He's about to get that sight device. The courier not at the side shop. He won't be able to afford it unless he somehow lives. maelk still running. maelk to be dead here. Void cools down. They get the kill, and now that Prophet dead for a while. Buyback on cooldown, and the sight device delayed. And not only is he delayed in building it, but that window to use it, well, it takes a little bit longer before it opens.
Yeah, I really like what DDC does here. He picks up a gem towards the enemy jungle, finds a little pickoff for his team. I mean, it goes to show that those invis runes late in the game can still have a nice big impact, as pickoff like that is going to really hurt EG. The Sheepstick comes a lot later, and EG have to play a lot more defensively, and they're going to find LGD just running right down their middle lane, while Nature's Prophet still is dead for the next 30 seconds.
This is such a smart item from Xiao8. Often we see the Aghanim Scepter here. We've even seen items like Basher, but he just goes for the Vlads, because guess what? They have 4 melee heroes. You also get the damage, you get the lifesteal. This is the absolute perfect item, plus it's going to help you try and go high ground. Now, for the moment, LGD, I guess they want to wait for this next Roshan because they're not forcing the fight. If they lose a big fight and it's 2 minutes to go, well, EG probably get that last set of outer towers, bottom and top, and they maybe even get a Rosh. So LGD, playing it smart, playing it safe, but as mentioned, does give EG some time to farm their next level of items.
Yeah, EG going to be happy with that. With Nature's Prophet now back online, you get that Sheepstick up as soon as possible. That's going to be how they deal with these heroes. Sure, they've all got BKBs, will be running in with them in, but the longer this game goes on, the shorter they're going to be getting. Nightstalker's only used his once by the looks of things. Sven already down to 7 seconds though, so these heroes at the front line, Sven sure he's going to be doing a lot of damage. He's starting to build up a Daedalus here with that crit stick. Is once 5-second BKB though, he can really get. If he gets kited around while his BKB's on, doesn't do enough damage, suddenly he goes down so fast as soon as it's one off.
You know, and along those lines, LGD dove too far in that last fight. Even when they got a kill or two, it came at the cost of the BKB time being wasted. Sure, the cooldowns are going down, but they really need to make sure they focus the damn tower in the next fight. Probably could have had it and just getting a little overconfident. It really hurt them, but this is LGD. They normally don't make the same mistakes along those lines twice. Generally, if anything, they're a little bit too passive, not a little bit too aggressive, so I don't think we'll see it again, but it is something they got to be careful about. And, well, guys, you've been talking a lot about the farm and the track gold. Look at DDC. He's got a soul booster up, just stacking raw HP, more interested in tanking those nukes than even building towards something like a BKB of his own.
Yeah, not just DDC. You've got the Darkseer who's got Pipe Mech as well. So Vanguard up 1200 gold. And LGD, they've camped near the Roshan pit. They want to get this. EG, looks like they know they want to contest this. They've got an Invis rune up. Is the gem on any of these heroes? They did have one earlier. Put it back on the grid. It's on Leshrac, so they're going to be ready for Fear coming in with an Invis rune.
Fear decides not to go for it. If that was Demon, you can bet he would have. Xiaowei gets caught. Remember, he does have the BKB. Now the Panda using that ability to just limit how much auto attacks he can get off. bdiz gets caught. Track kill. Oh, just executed by the Janata. Crazy amount of burst. And, you know, Drunken Haze in theory from the Panda can help to deal with a lot of that physical damage, but unfortunately BKBs will remove it and prevent it from being applied. So what could be a nice counter, just not really effective there. And GoDz, you can't Drunken Haze everyone either. Here comes the high ground push. I'm not sure if EG can defend this.
Yeah, this could be the first set of Raxes of this game too, going the way of LGD. Pipe getting popped just for security, for safety. Demon going to try slow them down with a Fade Bolt, but LGD, there's nothing standing in their way. They've really geared up all their heroes for this strong push. Even Nightstalker, picking up a Vladimir's offering, just giving them the strongest possible composition with the +5 armor to all their whole team, as well as the bonus damage.
Yeah, such a great intelligent item selection, and we're also seeing the value of that Darkseer as an off-laner. It's not necessarily about the big walls, vacuums, or even the lane control from Ion Shell. Guys, it's about being able to farm these support items and getting a mechanism, a Vanguard, and a Pipe all on one hero. You wouldn't see this out of a Tidehunter off-lane. You wouldn't see it. Oh, here comes the big team fight breaking out, though. The Panda ult has been used. All the BKBs as well. Sylar dropping low. Sylar will die. He does have the Aegis, though. He's coming back to life. DD in the middle of this fight will be thrown up onto a cliff. Not able to actually get enraged. Sylar mad. That is one angry Sven chasing after bdiz. Meanwhile, on the other side of play, the big boys going to work, bashing around, trying to bring down that Queen of Pain. bdiz dropping low. Yao assassinates another, and slowly but surely, LGD. Oh, bdiz with the epic jukes, but unfortunately his epic plays are only saving his own life, not killing off LGD. GoDz, he will escape. I gotta say, bdiz even outshining Demon with some of these cheeky little plays in this game.
Oh man, and LGD, they're searching around this chopped jungle, throwing vacuums, casting Warcry to get up there soon. They're just like, where the hell did he go? Vanish in front of thin air. Harry Houdini, this bdiz, but it's still not going to be enough. It's LGD who can just take down tower by tower. They'll just look to get another set of Raxes, and flashy plays like that, as amazing as they can look, aren't going to win you the game.
And unfortunately, there's no glyph. There's nothing standing between LGD and the second lane of Rax. And with the second lane of Rax, all but spells the GG for EG. Speaking of EG, does anyone have buyback? Looks like a few heroes do. The Panda, the Leshrac, who are... or not the Leshrac, excuse me. He's on the dire side, but the Panda respawns. So not going to be forced to use the buybacks. This is sort of their last stand. Have that first fight. Probably lose a couple heroes. Maybe with buybacks you can turn it around. And at least stem the tide, stop the bleeding for a few moments. But that's really not enough. They somehow got to not die, and, well, that just got more difficult. Yeah. Xiaowei with the Basher, Manta complete on Bounty Hunter, and now even Darkseer working towards either a Shiva's Guard or a Scythe of Ice.
I mean, you mentioned those two heroes. I was just looking at Sven, who's finished off his Daedalus. Leshrac just finished off a Bloodstone, so huge item pickups all across the board for LGD.
This is tough. Track onto the Sven. They have the vision, but can they convert that vision into any sort of initiation? Ice Path catches out too. Doesn't clip the Night Stalker though. Jeyo, no ult for 30 seconds. God, do they need that right now. Not quite up for it. Shall wait. And taking a decent amount of harassment, but goes in, says enough with this fear. You're out of here, buddy. And he will force it back. Now the silence onto Jeyo. Will LGD overextend? They're not. They're just, maybe they will. Vacuum on 3. Stormbolt as well. Oh my goodness, the damage, the pain. The pain. Jeyo dropping low. Sprout just to try and stop that Sven from diving even further. Jeyo, or rather Fear, back into this fight. Xiaowei getting kited. Double buyback from the Panda and the Rubik. Xiaowei dropping low. Might even fall here. Here comes Yao. Panda gonna be assassinated. Oh, just so much burst. So much burst physical damage and a 1300 damage crit. maelk next in line. LGD diving the fountain. Something you'd expect to see out of EG if anyone. Gods. It looks to be LGD who will be heading to those LAN finals.
Absolutely. EG putting up a hell of a fight, but at this point, even heroes like Brewmaster, who are meant to be tanky, maxed out Drunken Brawler, just high raw HP, he looks like food in front of LGD's DPS coming out from the Bounty Hunter as well as the Sven with that big crit up now. This is just too much damage to handle for EG. And EG, they've come far, they've done well, but it's just not enough. Too little, too late.
You know, no shame in losing to this town.
Oh,
that is
my gosh. That's just brutal.
Well,
think of the children. Think of the children, LGD.
That just happens. Oh, and they're not even getting crits all the time. Just so much physical damage. Gods, I think a lot of people on the stream, probably more than half, rooting for the North American representatives as the Panda dies in ult form in just a few auto tags. So much burst. A lot of people out there are going to be sad we won't have a Western representative at those LAN finals. But what we will have is a very impressive LGD team who I think may have just found the new roles that are going to suit them in this patch.
Yeah, this is LGD looking to play pretty damn well. They're going to be going up against a team that is looking somewhat unbeatable, though, in IG. But hey, they've got 2 weeks to prepare, and if anyone can do it, and do it with practice, it's LGD. They take out EG 2-0 fairly convincingly, I'd say. I mean, EG I think EG played well today, but it was just LGD. They stepped up their game and played that much better.
I would completely agree. This is the best performance we've seen out of EG, but it came against such a tough opponent. An opponent who had, yes, a bit of a ping advantage, but really just made better strategic decisions from the draft to the lanes to the mid-game timings. And I go back to that Game 1 fight where EG got an Aegis up, and then immediately LGD just pounced when they all started TPing into the Tier 2. To me, that kind of epitomized and defined this series was LGD just making the right decisions when it counted. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm LD, he's Gods. Together, we're David and David. We're Beyond the Summit. Thank you all for joining us all the way through the online playoffs of G1 League. It now comes down to the LAN finals. It now comes down to the Final Four. The Final Four will be IG versus LGD on one side of the bracket in one ring. On the other side, in the other ring, it's DK versus Orange. 3 Chinese teams and Orange as the last hope for outside of China for fans who just want to see China lose for once. So many great teams, so many storylines to talk about. We're going to break down this match. We're going to look forward to those LAN finals. But before we do that, we'll cut to a quick break. Thank you all again for joining us. If you missed any of today's games, any of the previous matches, make sure to check out our Twitch TV video section, twitch.tv/beyondthesummit/videos. All the VODs are available there or will be after today's broadcast for this particular series. All VODs also available on YouTube for those who prefer it. youtube.com/ldDOTA, youtube.com/godzstudios. If you enjoy our casting, if you enjoy our broadcast, support us as well. For that, it's Facebook, twitter.com/ldDOTA and /ggnetgodz. Most importantly, show the players some love. Follow EG at JeyoStyle, at DotaDemon, at bdiz_dota, at the maelk, and at FearDota. They played a hell of a series. For LGD, I think it's at LGD Gaming, possibly at LGD Dota. I know for Facebook, it's facebook.com/LGDDota. So anyway, show the team some love, show the players some love, and more importantly, stay tuned. Post-game wrap-up analysis, and I'll look forward to the playoffs coming up soon.
And it is go. Probably will have trouble blinking from Chwan. Ravage on 3. Shackle on 2. YY, a beautiful little shackle from him, and that sets up a quick double kill. Guess the question, Demon starts it off with the Firefly blinks in. Grabs K Phoenix. Surprise!
Does get chucked up before he BKBs. FC overextending. Here comes the AoE, but he's already gone down N9 in a...
Will this be enough to bring LGD down? He's so low. Maybe should have saved the flame breath. Don't know if that last auto attack would have hit. And Tiny kills him with the splash of kill.
And we'll get out. They haven't got sentries or dust. The clamp comes in. Maybe an Aegis.
Oh!
Well played.
Oh, this is a beautiful thing to see. It's a base trade, and EG might be caught unawares. It's a time for a TP scroll check, and nobody has a TP on EG.
They haven't done enough damage to backdoor protection. They need
Unbelievable!
more geniuses.
Thousands of years of waiting.